What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John and this is John Paul Investing. So in today's video, I wanted to go over Yoav Stern's letter to shareholders regarding revenues for 2020 last year. And at the same time, I was going to mention a new company that I just discovered. This is a pretty interesting company on the surface, but I wanted to let you guys know about it before it really starts to get attention, especially after Q4 earnings. They could be good. So just another company for you guys to take note of. But really, the main point here is I wanted to go over Nano Dimension's letter. And of course, I'm going to give you my thoughts surrounding the numbers and if they beat my expectations or if they were, meh. But before I got into the video, guys, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. This way you can get notified when I make videos just like this one, and it's a way for you to support the channel. And if you like participating in live streams and getting immediate answers, I highly recommend you subscribe also. If you would like access to our private Discord community of over 120 members and know exactly when I buy and sell stocks that we talk about here on this channel, I highly recommend you check out the link in the description to the Patreon group. And lastly, Webull is offering up to 2 free stocks for the month of February. All you have to do is open an account with them and deposit $100 and you will get 2 free stocks. You can then sell these stocks and then do whatever you want with the money. It essentially is risk-free money, guys. So Nano Dimension just published their year-end results for 2020. It's actually not just Q4, but for the entire year. So their approximate revenues for the year of 2020 was around $3.4 million. And as we know, they have been raising a ton of money and they are sitting close to $1 billion in cash with absolutely no debt. So on a preliminary basis, Nano Dimension reported unaudited revenues of approximately $3.4 million for the year ended December 31st, 2020, with approximately $990 million of cash reserves and no debt as of January 31st, 2021. The above information reflects preliminary estimates with respect to certain results of Nano Dimension for the year ended December 31st, 2020, based on currently available information. Because the audit is not yet complete, Nano Dimension's final results may vary from the preliminary estimates. Yoav Stern, President and Chief Executive Officer, remarked, quote, "As I have commented in our quarterly results conference since May of 2020, as well as in presentations to dozens of new investors during the 8 capital raising transactions totaling $1 billion since May 2020, the CV-19 pandemic affected the sales of our Dragonfly LDM systems in 2020. In fact, I stated publicly that revenue in 2020 could be close to zero. Therefore, I am pleased with our results. Our customers and prospects have been subjected to travel and capital expense restrictions, as well as limitations on visits of our engineers for sales, installations, and support. Acquiring breakthrough technologies has not been a priority for buyers struggling with a tsunami-like event like CV-19. Mr. Yoav Stern added, "I was positively surprised during the second half of 2020 as our revenues were much higher than I expected, reflecting the following 5 upward trends. A larger number of upgrades of the older Dragonfly Pro into our next generation system, the 24/7 Dragonfly LDM, or the Lights Out Digital Manufacturing, which is indicative of the high level of customer satisfaction and their continued utilization of our machines. Approximately 70% of our Dragonfly Pro customers have upgraded their machines. So for every 10 machines they have, 7 of them were upgraded. Revenue boosted by our recurring revenue model, which includes the selling of the dielectric and conductive materials used by the Dragonfly LDM for 3D printing. Strong initial sales of our new Nano S, or Nano services of proof of concept, prototyping, printing of high-performance electronic devices for prospective customers who may have purchased our systems, but who instead paid us for services as a result of the stagnation of their capital expense due to CV-19. So customers who actually have the machine could still outsource the development process and prototyping to Nano Dimension regardless if they have it. Recurring revenues for customers with annual services and support agreements. So like we said in earlier videos, this is another stream of income for Nano Dimension. We have nano services, we have the sales of the printers, we have the sales of the inks, and we also have servicing contracts for the repair and maintenance of their Dragonfly printers. Sales to Pacific Rim customers who recovered earlier from the CV-19 pandemic and started to buy machines in November 2020. The Dragonfly LDM was sold to an Academy of Engineering Physics also, as well as to 2 other customers in the Asia-Pacific region. And in conclusion, CV-19 is still in full force in Europe and the US. Our working assumption is that once it phases out, we should experience a slingshot effect on sales as a result of the removal of restrictions on capital spending, suppliers' visits, and travel by our customers and prospects. In preparation for this stage, we have planned an aggressive go-to-market strategy supported by our cash reserves. Other 2020 milestones and mergers and acquisitions activity include the following. Nano Dimension raised approximately $1 billion, accelerating their technology and product development timelines, and our mergers and acquisition strategy, both of which should fast-track our growth and market penetration in 2021. They engaged Needham & Co. to lead the U.S. mergers and acquisition strategy. They engaged Carl Square for Germany and the European market for January 2021. They profiled and scanned more than 80 potential acquisition targets across geographies and electronic industry segments and contacted and studied a large part of them. So they have looked at a plethora of companies already, guys. So I'm sure they're going to narrow these down to just a few. Identified few synergistic candidates with complementary breakthrough technologies and or commercial complementary products and channel overlap, engaging some of them in purchase and or mergers discussions. So again, like I said, there's a chance we might get more than one company in the merger and acquisition. I'm thinking 2, and in some wild case, maybe we'll get 3 businesses. But I'm going to stick to 2. I think we're going to get 2 businesses out of Nano Dimension's cash deck. And lastly, they established offices in the U.S. in South Florida, which houses the marketing, sales, customer care, and application engineering teams. So if Nano Dimension produced around $3.4 million in revenues, we're just going to do a little bit of math and figure out how much this quarter they produced in revenues as compared to the last 3 quarters from last year. So all we need to do is get the $3.4 million and subtract the last 3 quarterly earnings. So we get $3.4 million, which is what they reported for last year as they estimate. Subtract $703,000 from Q1, subtract $290,000 from Q2, and subtract $441,000 from Q3. And that leaves us with around close to $2 million for Q4 of this year. Now, if you guys don't already know, I actually made a prediction for how much they would produce for Q4 of this year, and I was actually pretty spot on. I said anywhere between 1.8 million and 2.2 million in revenues for Q4 of last year. So if I'm going to predict the sales for Q4, I'm predicting that, first of all, they have Nano Services on their side now. So the last quarter, we had around 300,000 or 400,000. We had 450,000 actually in sales. And I think a majority of that was actually contributed by Nano Services. So this quarter, we're going to see at least the sale of 2 printers. Maybe out of these 10 that they put in this press release, there may be a few other ones in there in the mix. But I'm going to say, let's say if they sell 3 printers, that's 1.2 million. And then we have 3 months again of Nano Services. So I'm going to take a wild guess. I could be wrong, but I'm going to guess that their revenues for this year, or at least this quarter, Q4 2020, is going to be between 1.8 and $2.2 million. Now, I could be totally off. This is just my guess, my prediction. And this prediction is based on, previous information that we already have. So I'm just using that to, frame what I think could happen. So the article goes as follows. So pretty much based on this, we were absolutely correct on our prediction as far as Q4 revenues. We said somewhere around 1.8 to $2.2 million. And this is all based on previous data we already had. So this is literally just, based on working assumptions, right? But as I always say right now, Nano Dimension is working on scaling up. From the press release, he has already disclosed with us multiple times that as soon as CV-19 restrictions lift, they are expecting a somewhat inflection point in their business to where they're going to start expanding rapidly. And right now, with all the money that they have on their balance sheet, they are essentially positioned to handle this kind of growth. So I am still very bullish on Nano Dimension. I'm super excited for where this business is going to go for the rest of the year. We are just in February right now. We're still 10 months out from the end of the year, and the 2021 is still fresh, guys. So the next business I was going to talk to you guys very briefly in this video is called Kubiant, or the stock ticker is KBNT. And what Kubiant does is they specialize in a deep learning, machine learning algorithm to prevent advertisers online from getting clickjacked or essentially robbed from their money. They essentially are running you out of business because they want to click on your ads and use up as much of your ad budget as possible. So looking at their investor presentation briefly, the industry problems is that there is ad fraud. In 2019, advertisers lost $42 billion to ad fraud. Ad fraud is when an ad is displayed to a fake website or bot to falsely inflate web traffic numbers and sell false advertising space. So in this example, they're saying that they essentially will create a fake website to host your ads and then have robots click on these ads, and human eyes never see the ads. So essentially it is, fraudulent. The next big problem here is the waste from this. So up to 30% of advertising is not seen by human audience. $37 billion of worldwide marketing budgets are being wasted on poor digital performance. publishers struggle to effectively monetize their audiences due to many vendors that take a percentage of that revenue. So essentially, the problem that they're solving is being able to connect advertisers and buyers directly with each other. So that way there's no middleman that could potentially steal their ads and put them on fake websites. So a single point of entry for buyers and sellers to transact directly in a real-time transparent environment. Make efficient markets by simplifying real-time data, audience data, and making it actionable, preventing ad fraud before the advertising budgets are wasted, optimizing the supply chain, enable advertisers to save money and spend more effectively, and empowering publishers to make more money by pricing their ads correctly based on the audiences that they show them to. And currently, Kubiant is trading around $7.48, or around the same price that it was trading in December of last year. So this could be a point of interest right now, especially with the market cap that it's at. This stock is a microcap stock. It is trading around a $80 to $85 million valuation at $7.50 right now. They have close to 11 million shares outstanding, which is not a whole lot. And you just multiply that by the stock price, and that's how you get your market cap. But anyways, guys, this is good news for Nano Dimension. On the side note, I'm very excited for where this business is going to go. I think they're going to be very effective in using all the money they have. Personally, I hope they buy Bitcoin at least a little bit with that cash stack. I'm saying like maybe $5 or $10 million. Nano Dimension, if you are watching this, please let your shareholders vote on it. Put up at least, $5 to $10 million in Bitcoin and just sit on it for a really long time. You will be doing us all a favor. But that's it for this video, guys. Just wanted to update you on the Q4 revenues and how we were pretty much spot on with our estimates. If you liked what you're watching, please go ahead and hit that like button. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell notification to get notified when I make videos just like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.